We have breaking news happening right now on 12 News at 10. Crews are on scene of a massive pallet fire burning near 35th Avenue and Lower Buckeye Road. Flames can be seen for miles. Good evening, everyone. I'm Karima Devine.
I'm Mark Curtis. Let's get right to Team 12's Jonathan McCall, who is live at the scene for us. And Jonathan, what's the latest on this fire?
Yeah, Mark Caribe, good evening. An intense firefight still underway as crews from as many as 4 different agencies from across the valley remain here on scene, trying to get that massive fire under control. I want to show you the scene that is unfolding right behind us here at 35th Avenue and Lower Buckeye Road. You can see a number of those fire crews are doing their best trying to pour water on that fire from the air. Phoenix Fire calls this a big water operation where they are literally just trying to use as much water as they can to try to douse this fire. Let's show you some video of how this scene unfolded from Sky 12. We first learned around 8 o'clock this evening that Phoenix Fire crews were first called to this area near 35th Avenue and Lower Buckeye Road for a fire that sparked at a pallet yard. When they got to that scene, they say there was a 1-alarm fire, but because of the pallets made out of wood and because of the conditions we're in right now, that fire quickly spread to as many as 3 alarms where it is right now. We're told as many as 100 firefighters or more from 4 different agencies remain here on the scene trying to get that fire under control. One of the big questions and one of the big concerns, possible explosions. That's why we've learned hazmat crews are also here on the scene as well, trying to battle that fire. Joining me live right now is Captain Todd Keller with the Phoenix Fire Department. Captain Keller, what can you tell us right now about the firefight that's happening and what you guys can expect in the coming hours?
As you can see that these firefighters are gaining fire control. You said something that was right on. We're in a defensive strategy, big water operation. We're hitting this from an elevated position to effectively put out these flames. These firefighters are going to be out here throughout the rest of the night, extinguishing all remaining hot spots. You mentioned about hazmat crews. We had a hazmat crew from Tempe, from Glendale, possible explosions. We had to activate emergency traffic, which indicated that there were down power lines. What that does is that notifies everyone on the fire ground that the position and where these power lines are down.
Because of the pallets, because they are made of wood, and this fire really is just a kind of the perfect recipe for something like this to spark as large as it has. What are the conditions that you guys are dealing with right now, just trying to put out the fire and just try to get a hold of just containing the fire?
Right. Like we talked about earlier, we're hitting this from an aerial position, from an elevated position. We're in big water operation. We're going to set up ladder trucks. We're going to set up these ladder pipes. We're going to set up ground, what we call blitz monitors, and we're going to hit this from every position we can, every side we can. There was a Circle K that was a little bit ways down. We did have to evacuate it. As soon as we hit a second alarm, what we activated was called level 2 staging. And what we like to do is that we like to stage units, fire trucks, fire apparatus, so we can recycle those crews in and out. We like to layer our resources so we can get those firefighters in and out when they do breathe through all their air.
Captain Keller, can you talk a little bit about, this is really the second largest second big fire that Phoenix Fire has responded to in the last 72 hours. Can you talk a little bit about just the conditions that we're in right now with regards to the lack of rain, very little moisture to help you guys out? What are some of the things that are big concerns for you right now as we kind of move into the summer months where things are going to be hot and dry?
So this would be a completely different firefight if we were 90 days later. If we're in the middle of July, it'd still be 105 right now. Right now we know it's about 90 degrees. Wind plays an important factor in these. Right now we're about 5 miles an hour. That's really not an issue for us right now. But the weather right now is not too bad. A little bit different if it was the middle of July.
Captain Keller, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate your time. As we just heard him say, right now there have been at least just one evacuation of Circle K here just on the southwest corner of where we're at. This is a pretty heavily industrialized area, so there are no homes that are necessarily impacted, no big concerns of anyone breathing in the smoke or any of the concerns as fire crews continue to battle this fire. But as we mentioned, more than 100 firefighters from 4 different agencies right here remain here on the scene trying to get this fire under control. Right now there's no timetable on exactly when that will take place, but as you just heard Captain Keller say, because it's a wood pallet facility, wood is a perfect recipe for fire, and it's going to take them some time to try to get this under control. Mark Caribe?
Yeah, Jonathan, it looks like a pretty expansive scene there. Any word on road closures and which areas people should really avoid for the next several hours?
So right now, we literally are standing in the middle of 35th Avenue and Lower Buckeye Road. Anything north of where we're at, all the way to Durango and 35th Avenue is shut down. Also, if you're headed east along Lower Buckeye Road to around the Loop 202, or I should say further east, I should say, that's also shut down right now. So crews can work on that. I-17 is what I was trying to say. That area also shut down as well. So no cars getting through here. That's just to allow fire crews to get in and out as needed and to allow them to do their job on containing this fire.
Jonathan, when you were headed there, we heard that they couldn't even find a safe spot to stage the media because that's how hot and fast this fire was burning. What about homes in that area, 35th Avenue and Lower Buckeye? Are there any evacuations going on?
So, Mark, we haven't heard of any evacuations of any homes. That's one of the things where we were concerned about when we first got here and heard about on our way here. But as you just heard Captain Keller say, the only thing that they've had to evacuate was just a Circle K that was normally open 24 hours. They had to close that down just so none of the smoke could get inside of the store. None of the folks would be impacted there. But this area that we're at is pretty industrialized, and it's actually right across the street from where we're at, to give you a general location, from the Lower Buckeye Jail. So there's a lot of industrialized areas around here. No massive evacuations, no major concerns, at least of right now, with regards to the smoke. Mark?
Okay, Jonathan McCall reporting live from this massive pallet fire that's going on tonight. Meanwhile,